this computer, yeah. Okay. The recording, of course, is so that it's for what we have spoken, and so that in case I miss anything on it. So let me start. Okay, my name is Manto. I'm currently the National Secretary of Age Co. I also an operator with the Jasper Group, and also I do consulting for other homes, and I also help people to start nursing homes as well. Churches or other organizations for the matter. So today, I want to talk about this topic, not because it is about anything naughty, but this is something is happening, is happening, and in an issue that is going to grow. Now, we could talk about sex and seniors and the discussion, and the objective is really to take a discussion and open up our mind and view on a topic which is growing, which will affect the managing of nursing homes or care centers. We will affect the way we make decisions. It may even affect legal issues, that can happen in the home. And of course, if you ask me, there are many stories to talk about things that's happened and things we handle. But now it is still in the infancy stage. So relationship with our people, all those things will affect the way we manage our staff, management make decision, the way we manage the families. And because we are not managing people with normal faculty, usually whoever is with us will have mental issues, will have physical issues, we have medical issues. So this is not something we are dealing with a normal person in many ways, okay? And of course, there are also those who are very clear-minded as well. So this is a topic I want to talk about, because at the end of the day, this will grow more as the industry grows. And it will be good for you all to contribute. I expect all of you, number one, to actually contribute and give your share what you think. I'm not here to seek the right and wrong, but I will set certain ground rules so that we have and understand where we are going, okay? So because first thing that I think is we also understand, number one, we are from multicultural, okay? Even the 9 of us here could be Chinese. We have different religious background, different upbringing, different moral standards, and a different view of things, okay? That's number one. So learn to bear that in mind. These are things happening, but feel free to chat, okay? Should there be a dispute or argument that goes out, get out of hand, I will mute them, okay? But really is share out what you think honestly from your perspective, okay? Because I think looking at here, I have Kun Yong, he is in the 40s, late 40s, Michael in his 50s, Whitehouse in his 20s, almost latest. Christine, she has been a nurse and in this industry for a long time. June, I don't know. Becky, she is in pain relief management, okay, and she's in maybe late 40s, early 50s, about 5 series, the kind of thing. 4 series, 5 series. Queenie, okay, of certain age, of course, Corinne, you're retired. Now, of course, I would love to have more people taking part in this whole thing, discussion, and get a more fulfilling feedback on all those things. But it's okay, 9 is good. So I'm going to start by asking each and everyone to introduce yourself, a quick one line, where you are from, and what are you doing? I know some of you, but the rest doesn't know. So let's start with Kun Yong. Unmute and just introduce yourself here.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kun Yong. So I'm the person in charge in one of the center, My Comfort Home Care Center. Thank you.
Corinne?
Hello, hear me?
Yes. Those who have finished speaking, I just mute yourself, unmute only when you talk. Okay, Corinne?
I'm from KL, Subang Jaya Sunway area. Yeah, I'm retired, but I attend a church. Yeah.
All right. What work were you doing before?
Oh, I was working in public.
Hello.
She mute herself.
Yeah, she mute herself. Okay. Hello. Corinne, you mute yourself. Please unmute.
Okay. All right. Now can you hear me?
Okay. You work in a public service, is it?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, many years ago lah. Yeah, I retired already, long time already.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
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 Yes. Yeah.
Did
White House?
Okay.
White House? Okay. Then Michael, can you introduce yourself first then?
Okay, I'm Michael from One Heng Group. We are running a 4 center in Suri Kembangan.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Christine.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now, Chris.
Okay, good. I'm Christine. I'm operator of the Sunnyview Residence in Sungai Petani. Anybody who is interested to buy over or in a partnership with me till the end of the year, come and please let me know so that I can renew my license. If not, I will not renew my license. Thank you.
Okay, it's okay. We allow marketing. So
advertisement.
Advertisement. No, you are the second one who asked me. Yesterday, I have one asking me as well. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sungai Petani. Okay. June, can you introduce yourself? Hello, June. Very strange. Okay, Queenie, can you introduce yourself? Oh, okay, June from Kedah. Okay. Yeah, Queenie.
Hi, I'm Queenie and I have retired and previously was working with an American company. And I'm not sure what I'm expecting from this forum. So I just joined in to get more knowledge.
Okay, all right. It's an open forum where we will touch on things that, that affects us in the care industry and maybe even retirement village and the decisions we have to make.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that would be good. Yeah, being in the industry would be good for you to come in. Yes.
Thank
Becky.
You.
Yes, thank you, Queenie. Rebecca.
Hi, Manto. Hi, everyone. I'm Rebecca. I run the Holistic Wellness Center in PJ, and we provide pain management services, physio rehab, for our clients. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Wai Hao, are you busy with somebody in Malacca, or you are okay to introduce yourself? Okay, I think, yes. Wai Hao?
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, sorry, I'm still driving.
You are?
I'm driving actually.
Oh, okay. So you are in Malacca or you're in KL?
In Malacca.
Okay, maybe you introduce yourself a little bit, quick one.
Okay, I'm working for Wesley. They're running a retirement home in Malacca.
Okay. All right. Okay, we'll start the ball rolling. Okay, and I would take the conversation as you see on top of Sex and Seniors Discussion Forum. So it's a discussion. We will have certain, of course, ground rules whereby we, the objective is at the end of the day, hopefully we have a bit of information where of what people think about this topic of sex and seniors in relation to the management of caring for people, because I can tell you there are many things that have happened before, and those who have run homes before, I'm sure Christine could tell you a lot of stories. Things like staff falling in love with the elderly, or so to speak, we have things, men masturbating, and then, in front of the staff, the young staff, and the staff was offended. Is it abuse? Men, usually this happens to men, of course. Sex and women are quite different, But for men, some people watching pornography openly, on the web, on the handphone, or on the laptop, and then, trying to show it to a female staff. Is that abuse? If it's abuse, what do we do? I have people who are falling in love with the elderly, some with dementia, thinking that the other man is the husband, falling in love. Is that okay? So things are like this are happening. Not it is in a very different setting. Not when you are young, you are vibrant, you have certain things to talk about. So I want to approach these things first from the moral, legal, the religious, and the well-being part first, before we can deal with the management of the care centers. So I'm going to ask this question. Okay, let's start defining. We all know the answers, but I think let's start defining. And I'll probably type here also. Okay, what is, in your opinion, what is the purpose of sex? Yeah, Kunyo. Let's start with the first question. What is the purpose of sex, in your opinion?
For my opinion, okay, when you fall in love or interested in somebody, there is another level of relationship.
Okay. Sex. Okay, so can I
Yeah,
say?
then you engage in this.
So can I say sex is expression of a different level of relationship. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Anything else? Kun Yung, you want to add on?
I think that's all that what do I think.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, Corinne, what do you think? I think you are muted, Corinne. You're muted. Okay.
Okay, I believe that, well, it has got its hormonal from the young stage, even though between man and female, that about their hormone, body hormone. So they don't know the feeling, but I suppose their body reaction to it is such that it has got that attraction.
Okay. Hormonal reaction and attraction. Okay. Okay. There's some scientific expression of it. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay.
Because,
thanks.
All right. Okay.
Then Corinne, yeah. Anything else? Corinne, go ahead. Anything else, Corinne?
Then I believe that a lot of so-called young ones, when they are not very familiar with what is the purpose of life, they may think that, anything that excites them will give them something to do. And I suppose it can be misleading too, because it has consequences, because sex will always what we call the increase and multiply. That is God's law, because it will come to whatever you do, there will be an effect out of it. So youngsters may not even know the depth of sex education, and then they just go into it thinking that there's nothing, ignorant sometimes also. Yeah. So this is where education comes in.
Okay, all right. So I would say sex is something exciting that youngsters get into without total and without full understanding. I just put it that way.
Part of it.
Part of it. It's deeper than that, but yeah, part of it. Let's start with that. Okay. Queenie, what do you think?
I think sex is two person expressing their love spontaneously in an intimate way.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. This expression of love. Yeah. Okay. It's, in fact, that is the closest of a relationship that it can be, but which of course many has taken it likely as a pleasure as well, but it is also both pleasure. Okay, thanks, Queenie. Rebecca, what do you think?
Personally, I feel that it's actually an exchange of energy from two persons, very intimate energy
exchange of energy of
two
persons.
Intimate energy exchange.
Intimate and energy exchange. Okay. No, it's okay. I think I think that is it does describe two persons. Yeah, it is. So there is a physical aspect, and there is also a relationship aspect, and there is also a very deep relationship aspect.
Yes. So now, it depends whether the person there's any love or anything, So it's actually some form of energy exchange. It depends on, the relation between the two persons.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else has an opinion to add on? Christine?
Well, to me, sex is the second level of the human basic needs. Yeah, whether you can have it or you don't have it. But then as one ages, the needs become reduced due to hormonal changes. Yeah, and that is, but you must also appreciate you for holding this session, because it's what do you call? It's a thing that do happen, and we cannot just simply brush away. Okay.
I'm sure you have a lot of story to tell, Christine, with your years in the aged care and nursing. I'm sure I'm going to dig some story out of you. Okay. Okay. I have stories, but I'm sure nothing compared to yours, especially when you work in hospitals and the aged care for so long. This and reduces, okay, as age progresses. Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay, but of course, basically, sex is also basically it's a relationship, and it's also one of the things which you're missing is procreation. Is for continuing of the next generation. Which is also what you call a creative expression. Okay, expression. What given by one of my friend? Women has generally has this creative expression because they can make a baby. For men, you can't, so that's why men always seeks for other creative expression. Okay, so that is something that's happening. Okay, good. Now let's go straight into it then. Let's talk from your personal view. Okay, it's okay, take it deep. I think let's not talk on just the surface alone. Because at the end of the day, this issue of sex and seniors are very personal, and you may have parents living in a home, you may have a friends, or you may be the children who is managing a guardian for somebody in the home, or so let's say from a moral point of view, okay, when someone is in should someone who is not married have sex in the home? Let's look at the seniors, okay, but maybe stick with the first question. Do you think seniors should continue to have sex? If you type the answer there if you want to, it's okay. You don't have to reply me here. You type the answer. Some of the answers you can type. If you want to reply, also can. Unmute and just say.
If they still can.
If they still can. Yep. Okay. Queenie said if you still can. I think generally we all agree yes. Now, that is the first part. The second part is, let's say, what happened if they are doing it more from a moral point of view, or even legal point of view, or even religious point of view, okay, and they're doing it with another person, not their own spouse. Okay, now, in a nursing home, they could be. I have situations. I get these stories. Both person married. One of them, the wife passed away. The other one has dementia, forgot that she has a husband, and she wants to talk to, fell in love, thinking this man is the husband and or the new boyfriend, because the dementia took her to another level. So they want to get together and have sex, okay? And I casually asked the children, hey, what happened if your mother was going to marry somebody else? What do you think? So, do you think the people at that age with this kind of conditions should have sex with another person who is not the spouse? Just your thought, okay? Our Kun Yong, okay, operators, what do you think? Unmute yourself and speak, please.
For my opinion, no. I think this is not only the elderly feeling. Think about how the family, when they send the parents to our center and end up such situations, I don't think it's the right things.
Okay. So, okay, from a center point of view, okay, it's a center responsibility that from an operator point of view, it shouldn't happen.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Well, of course, just like Queenie says, hey, they can still do it, why not? Okay. Now, of course, marrying somebody else, having sex with somebody else.
I meant this is for married couple.
For married couple, okay.
Yes,
okay.
I don't mean for not married couple.
Yeah, and that is from a very specific cultural and religious point of view. The moral standard will be based on that. Is that before marriage is taboo, and that you should be have sex with the same person that you're married to. I think that is nothing wrong. That is a standard that we have all adopted through the years, in many cultures. Of course, some cultures say you can marry four, so I don't know where that comes how to manage that, but that one, since we don't have an Islamic expert here, then I would escape that question. Maybe one day I do a session with some Muslim friends who can explain that to me. So, okay. Yes.
Ask you, out of curiosity, when they stay in a home, as you said, a senior, where kind of space to find for sex? Where can they find the space or the privacy to do sex?
Depends. Okay, of course, most centers you don't have it. Okay, as you progress and things progress, there's some places with single rooms. They can. There's some other places with twin room. Where one bed is empty at a point at time, and there's only one occupant. It can happen. And some of them don't sleep anyway. Some of the Kun Yong can tell you that. Christian can tell you that also. Some of them they don't sleep. They walk around whole night.
Oh.
Okay, but it's not. So far. I haven't seen it actually happening now. So because there are always staff around. So, but as we go along, as centers get bigger and become a retirement village, elderly care with 60, 70, 100 people, it has happened. We have videos of staff getting very close to an elderly. So we have that from another centers. So these are things are possible. Okay, I think we have to agree this one. Morally, I think culturally in Asia, we not married. Okay, you shouldn't have sex, but people are doing it. That's but as long as they are not breaking any law, that is fine lah. Okay. People said, you don't disturb me with the law. Okay, you can. But the other part is once you're married, morally, it is basically wrong. And if you're married, having sex with other people, regardless of age, it's still called an adultery. If you are having affairs with another person, it's still considered adultery. Okay, I think that is very clear. Now, that's from a religious point of view. But what about from well-being? Sometimes these people, okay, let's say from well-being, and this person, okay, both of them, the husband passed away and the wife passed away. Do you think they should continue to, mingle, a male and a female in a home?
We continue to stay in a home.
They're staying in the center, okay? They're staying in your center and they want to have a relationship. Now, if they're staying in their own house, there's nothing we can do. Okay, we are talking from a perspective of managing this. This one, okay, like Kun Yung just make a point, okay? We have a responsibility. But this one, the husband passed away. This one, the wife passed away. Okay, and they like each other. Both of them know dementia and they get along very well. And they're holding hands, okay? I haven't seen them do anything any I think more than that, but you may get to that stage. So from a point of well-being, what do you think? Don't you think that is good for them to stay in a home with a relationship with someone?
Actually, what I think that's
what do you think?
When still the same, back to the same questions, same problem. If their family, there's no objections, then we are happy for that. Because they send the parents here. I don't know whether they only want us to look after the parents, you see. But when end up in such a relationship, I don't know whether it's the right thing for us. For us, it's okay. But the thing comes when the family, both of the family, whether the point of view, the decisions is very important. It's not up to us. Our responsibility is look after them and stop that. When they come to this stage, we have to inform both the family about this. What if we discuss something engaged in such a relationship, I have to inform both of the family and ask them to discuss with us what they think.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
Right way.
Okay. Michael. Yes, who's that speaking?
I am speaking. Can I speak?
Correct, yes.
Yes. Personally, I agree to what has been suggested, that the two adults are still healthy and body, mind, and soul. So it's good just to inform the children about such that the mom or the dad is having this kind of new adventure discovery. So it's up to the children to at least be aware and then ask the children's opinion, what they feel. If the children says, go ahead. I mean, my dad wants to marry again, go ahead, get their blessings, you know. So in a way, it's a good thing also if both of them are healthy and then they find the similarity of interest in the other person there, then it's for them to move on to the next stage now. But the children, whoever sends them there, must be made aware of it so that they also are in the picture, because they are the financer of the benefit. Everything is all signed up according to what they expect, you see. So at least we tell them that there is this development, good or bad, it's up to them to inform you what to do.
Okay, I understand. Okay, then I'm going to ask the next question. I said you inform the family members. Okay, you should inform. Then I totally agree. Okay, and I do have such discussion with people before. So now I'm going to ask this question. Let's say if the two elderly, they really actually, you say, oh, they can, the children say, okay, they get married, never mind, both of them in the 80s, they're happy staying in your home, and then they want to get married, and then suddenly, the lady side, the children said, since she's married now, the husband should take care of her, and they should pay for the nursing home fee. How do you deal with it? Okay, it hasn't happened to me before. But how would you deal with it? Michael, you've been silent for so long.
This is really a good question. I haven't happened before though, but really don't know lah. I don't think this will be happening lah. I believe if that's the case, I don't think both family members should have any problem with the money lah. For others, as operators have so many years, this is not the problem we have. We have is those so-called guys with whether they are common or retarded. They're still, to me, is their own desire. So few years back, we have this not once, we have 2-3 old men. They're willing to pay money for my Indon mate to have some special service for them. So we only realized that after their guardians complained to us, why my father used so many money in the center. Ask for 200-300 ringgit additional. Then after we found out they pay this extra service for oral sex, for masturbating, and all those nonsense. So actually, we try our best to stop all this, but yet some of those so-called retarded or dementia, they still have a lot of hanky-panky, even though we stop them because they don't know what they're doing. They still masturbate around the living hall, and we have some special case that some of the oldies ladies, once in certain period, like this around 4 to 6 p.m., she will perform street dance, like 2, 3, very occasional. So when times reach about 4 or 6, we have to bring her back to her room, or else all of them, they will have a street dance free show.
Okay. Okay, okay, good point, Michael. Michael, we hold on to that story, yeah. Okay. Which actually will bring into another issue. Okay. Let's move on with this story, yeah. Okay, with that, now, number one, being married and this having money problem will be a very rare problem, lah. I can tell you this, lah. It will probably won't happen, lah. But yeah, so Michael brought in a very interesting issue. Is that people who are elderly or even with mental challenges, they still have desires, they still masturbate, they pay their maid. Now there are two issues here. Okay, there will be actually a duty of care by the center, and the other issue is a legal issue. Okay, now number one is basically providing sex for money is basically illegal. That is called prostitution or some form lah, so or some sort of relief. Okay, so that one is an illegal act. So technically, if the family members report to the police, the staff will be in trouble lah. Not so much of the center, but the center, if they report JKM, may actually close you down, because may close it center down, not yours down, but there is a challenge for all centers. These are real issues actually. If it's reported to JKM, what happened is, if this becomes a serious complaint, they will actually suspend the license for a while or for investigation. So I think that is something that will happen. Not close down immediately, but suspend for investigation. So Michael, let's go back to you. We will ask for other people for your opinion on how you deal with all those things. So on your side, so how do you deal with the family members? When they come and complain, why they're using so much money, and they discover that your maid are giving them a special favor?
I have to apologize what to do. Eventually, I get the maid to pay them back the money, and I try my best to stop all this.
So
I fired the staff. I fired the staff.
You fired the staff, lah. Okay,
yeah.
No choice, lah. You have to, lah.
Yes.
Because if you don't, they can actually take you to court, and
Yeah.
call negligence, and failure to perform a duty. Okay, lah. So this one is, yeah. Okay, so that's the thing. Interesting, Michael, lah. Yeah, interesting. So, okay, thanks for sharing, Michael. Any other thoughts on this issue about elderly and on all the sexual issues? Yeah, Rebecca, have you in your industry, okay, providing service, do you come across such challenges where you have clients who are asking more than what you provide as your team provided as a professional service in physiotherapy? Rebecca? Okay. Maybe she's not in. Okay. So, all right. So we all agree that, the few things are, number one is a duty of care, well-being wise. Yeah. If they want to get married, children say, okay, we are okay. We should inform families. That one we agree. Okay. And then now, but if there is such things like sexual favors, masturbation, and the staff performing such duty, that is basically putting the center into jeopardy. Now, not so much for the family in the sense that it's more of a money issue, but it is a legal issue to provide sexual favors with payment. So that is a real challenge. Now, that is on the other side on one side of things, staff wanting to make more money. Okay. Now, what about on the other side? I'm going to ask this question. What about on the other side? Let's say which happens before. People keep watching pornography, want to pay money to the staff to perform sexual favors, and your staff refuse. What do you do? Okay. What do you think you do? Christine, what do you do? Have you come across things like this in Sungai Petani? Or this only happen in KL?
So far, it's not with staff, but it's with the patient or resident herself. You see, I have one old elderly, 86, and before her medication by psychiatrist, she was living in the world of her 20s, I think. And every now and then she will masturbate. She will talk as though it's like a phonography film for you to see. And then the husband anyway stays in together with her in the same room, two of them there. So in the end, we just ignore initially until she started to accuse other residents of having sex with her husband and making a lot of noise. Then only the children took her to the psychiatry. And after that, she was on medication and she was okay. So this type, it depends on the resident. As long as they are doing it and not hurting anybody, I would have just closed an eye. But it affects your management, and there is unhappiness among other residents quarreling, then only I will take action. And also, that's it.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. Thanks for your thought. I think the key point here, you make it really right clear. Yeah, there are things that you cannot stop, but until it becomes a nuisance or to others, then yeah, we have to step in. But Christina, what are the things that you normally do to them? I mean, besides this one, this case is particularly, of course, medical. She has a medical condition. She took medicine. She was okay again, you know. So moved from her 20s to back to a normal time. So if she become a nuisance to your family, to residents and staff, what do you do to the clients like this? Have you have any experience of this, Christine?
I will explain. I will explain to the other residents to ignore her as much as possible, right? And let her say whatever she wants. Unless she becomes aggressive, she go and scold another resident. Oh, look what bling and all these things and go
yeah.
Create problem. Then no choice. Then I have to tell the children, I say, you need to take her to see the doctor because now she is not living in the world of 80 something, but she's living in the world of 20 over. But they cannot blame her, you know. We must not say, she's doing purposely. No, she doesn't know. So that is how I tackle her. But from my experience before, I have young nurses who go to the ward and nurse elderly patients. Then if they are naughty, sometimes, you know, when there's a bunch of elderly, especially the male, and then they have to clean the private part. If they clean it professionally, it's okay. But sometimes when they go and masturbate the elderly, then they will get my punishment from me, you see, which is not to be done. You are not professional anymore. That is why we have to supervise our youngers. They are innocent in the sense that they make the old man happy, so they also like it to make them happy, and then they laugh over it, you see. Innocent play. But then is the legal issue involved. You must be very careful.
So youngest thinking, okay, just make the old man happy, and then, yeah, I've done this before. I tell everybody, yeah. So they go around telling everybody, lah. Yeah. I think all of us, when we are young, our brain usually is located in the wrong place, lah. Okay. I think when you bring up a very important point is that you say that this patient, she doesn't know what she is doing, and you can't really blame her. I think there's a lot of compassion needed when we deal with this kind of behavior, the sexual behaviors and things. Okay, thanks, Christian. Kun Yong, what do you do with this? Do you have any situations like this that you want to talk about?
Okay, I just have one incident. Actually, I have in my center. There's a young man. I think is now is 50 plus lah. So he got an accident in his spine. So it's more like a paralyzed. But I think now he's getting recovery. But the two hand, I mean, he can't move the two hand. Can't move lah. Both the hand is not well lah. Just a slight movement lah. But that's why the day I just received my meal caregiver give me a call say that our job is it included helping the patient for masturbating? I say no. Okay, I say why? Because I think this guy approached one of my male caregiver to help him to do the thing lah. So that's why I don't know whether this is talking about legal. I don't know whether because to me it's not the right thing because we are the giving the care for those taking care of them lah. It's not other than other things lah. Like this one, I don't think it's in our job task lah. I just tell my caregiver say that no, it's not. You have no right. Okay, we don't provide this kind of service lah.
Okay. So that is the question. There is a dilemma here of a few contexts. Thanks, Kun Yung. One of the dilemma here is of course legal. Okay, what does the law say? Of course, anything that is paid for, for service of pleasure, sexual pleasure, is considered illegal. Yeah, but there is also the other part of it where we are struggling with is the cultural part. That's where we are brought up. These are things that is certain standard we must live to. We shouldn't do this kind of thing. The private part will always be a private part, so it is a sacred. So there are this thing. Yeah. So if that is also part of the training that we should have given to the people that we shouldn't do all these things. But the world is very corrupted these days. You don't have to go far. You don't have to search for pornography. You don't have to search for anything. They will search you. So all kind of things will send to you at random and see who will bite, and young people will learn the wrong thing, okay, from the internet. So that is it's a dangerous time, a troubling time. But okay, thanks for the sharing. Now, of course, from a management point of view, we must prevent all these things from happening now. But I'm going to ask one question. Back to the story of husband, the two elderly, okay, with consent to get married. Okay, I just mute Christine first. Christine, the mind. Okay, so let's say the two couple who said, the family said, okay, consent to live together, to get married in your center, and then they were having intercourse. An accident happened. Now, accident happened. Okay, whether it's a medical or whatever, something broke something twist something. Now, what is the responsibility of the center, the family, and the two adults? I'm thinking that something that happened really happened. If let's say something happened during the intercourse, what is the stand? How do we deal with it? Okay, I'm just putting a thought inside your mind for you to think about. It's not necessarily it's the only thing that will happen, but that is something we can always think about. Yeah. What do you think we should do? Is it the center's fault for not supervising to ensure their safety? Michael, your fault. Michael, do you think it's a fault? Okay, Corinne, what do you think? Okay, you are not an operator. That's the best person to ask. Who do you think should be responsible for this incident?
My view, can you hear me? Yeah, my view, is I personally feel that the two persons are already adults, and with the knowledge of the family that they are in a relationship. The relationship may not say marriage. At that age, probably they just want companionship. It's not to marry. So, being adult, they have their own free choice, free will. If accidents happen, say maybe stroke or suddenly, you know,
Out of the bed and break your bone.
yeah, some kind of disablement, then it's not fault of the center, because the center already informed the right family people that such things happening. What do you want me to do? What do you suggest? So they will come back and say, you know, yeah. So you shelf it to them already initially from the beginning. Unless they have not been informed, then of course everybody likes a blame game, then they put it onto the center lah. But I mean, the center of people have been quite fast in knowing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, I like your answer. I like your answer, Corinne. I think you pointed a few points. That upfront you tell the family members, in case these kind of things happen, you know, we have to let you know. They can happen. We cannot be, center cannot be taking care of everything, isn't it? You only have one manning ratio is 1 to 4. You cannot see everything. And in your room, you don't care what you do. We don't open the door. Okay. The second thing is, of course, they are consenting adult, and they are. So I think that one is a very important part of it. Is not the fault of the center, that as long as we are all in the know that it is the responsibility of the elderly, and there's no blame should be put on the center. Now, what happened? Okay, now this not happened on the sexual part, but has happened in real life. What happened if the railing broke during the time of the ankles, or any part of the bed that broke and they hurt themselves? Okay, this one don't answer me. This one don't answer me. Okay. The answer, actually, I can answer this one now. Okay, if they are two person doing something on the bed, okay, the answer is actually very simple. The bed was never meant for this kind of activity. Okay, the bed is not meant for this activity. So that's how we answer it. So if they still want to do it, that is their decision. And you don't know when it happens. Okay.
We're gonna buy
I
you
answer for that. Because okay, I have situations where people actually broke our beds, break our equipments. Okay, and they said, "Oh, your equipments are faulty." I say these equipments are meant for you to exercise, not for you to hang on there like a monkey and do whatever you like. You know, there are people who does things to equipments which are beyond what is designed for. So we have to, of course, investigate, but we do that. Okay. I have two last very interesting real story. Okay. People actually asked me before. One is an event that happened. Someone told me. Okay. The discussion topic is this lah. Okay. The other one, the last part is staff safety. I will talk about it. This not staff safety is the last one. Sorry. So this is a real story. One nurse told me that one of her clients, real story, about to die, and she's pretty rich. Her last wish is to have sex with somebody. Okay, palliative care. Okay. Now, I will tell you the second part of the story later. What happened? How it was managed. But in your opinion, a dying wish of an elderly requesting for a last sexual favor. Okay, would you? She said, "Okay, can you get someone to have sex with me?" So would you organize someone to have sex with her before she died? This is a real story. This is real. What do you think? Would you? Okay, it's okay. You answer according to your conscience. Okay, you don't have to answer to what happened. Answer according to your conscience, because all of us here are different. Kunyo, okay, I'm going to go one by one. What do you think? Would you organize for the lady?
I would bring things back to the family lah. Or if the family want to arrange for that, I'm okay. Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, I will give you a conclusion afterward. Corinne, what do you think?
on the human side, we would think that, oh yeah, since the last wish, granted to her lah. But then, on second thought,
On the
know,
spiritual side, she may go to hell lah.
never mind about the spiritual side of it, because I mean,
No,
she can also say God, whatever, that is God's grace and God's mercy. That
yes, of course. Good.
not
Okay. All right. Fine.
matters
Yes.
that because in the terms of the center management of the center, they want to play the safe game just in case if the next of kin says that, hey, why so much money gone? How come? So they may do a trace. Anyway, does she have the money in her hand to give? Because money is not supposed to be in the hand of those people staying in the homes. How she will get the money?
I'll explain those questions. I'll answer at the end. Okay. But what do you think? Would you do it? All your questions are actually they have the answer for it already.
All right.
Yeah.
If humanly, since it's the last wish, we'll or maybe out of humanitarian reason, you may just close your eyes and close your principles lah. Yeah.
Okay.
That personally feel.
Okay,
Exception.
thanks. Exception, huh? Okay, Rebecca, what do you think? Okay, she's not there. Michael, what do you think? What is your answer?
I wouldn't do that lah.
You won't do that, huh? Okay, fine.
Organize
Okay.
it.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Each one of us answer according to your conscience. I give you the answer at the end. Queenie, yeah, well, would you do that?
I truly have no idea how to answer you.
Okay, no, it's okay. Your particular answer also, I have someone given me this answer also. Yes. Okay.
Very rare and weird cases. Never heard of.
You may think it is rare. Some of the things that is happening are not as rare. It's just that people don't talk about it. That's all. And this is the first time you're hearing it, but these are real issues. It happened before. Okay, and it's not probably the first time.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. Thanks for your honesty, Christine. What do you think you do?
Sorry, Manto. I leave for a while to prepare food for my residents, so I didn't hear what you were discussing. Sorry.
Okay. It is a real story event. A palliative patient about the dying wish to the nurse was to arrange for her to have sex with somebody. Okay, so if this request is upon you, would you honor such a request?
Oh,
and she don't mind paying for it, that's for sure lah.
Oh, then it's up to the nurse. And then you say, you want to do, don't do it in my center. Do it somewhere else.
No, organize for her. It's a lady asking for a man. Okay, so the nurse is a female.
Right. The palliative patient
is a female.
Yeah. And she wanted the nurse to organize a sex session for her.
Yes.
Is it for her?
Yes.
Tell her, sorry, we do not provide the service. Maybe you can ask your family members.
Last wish lah.
Last wish. Okay.
If the family members say okay, then we will be happy for her also.
Okay, all right. Okay, let me give you all the answer. Okay, the answer is okay. Basically, yes. The family and the members did say yes. Okay, the nurse did agree, and they got a very handsome man to do the job for 5,000 ringgit.
Yeah, last wish, the woman's last wish.
So yeah, they did get a gigolo lah. Okay, okay, that was the answer. Okay, now there's one more story, a request. Not too long ago, it happened. Okay, someone asked me. He said, "Okay, we are running a retirement home, and the poor people who are staying with us are mobile and all these things. What do you think? If we organize women to go to have sex with them, what do you think? When upon their request lah."
Cannot lah.
As an operator, now I'm talking as an operator. Do you think you should do that kind of thing?
No.
Yeah. My answer is exactly the same. No.
No lah. No.
Yeah.
No.
Your license only just carrying them physically for their needs, not just other type of needs.
Yeah, but he said, I don't arrange myself. I quietly work with somebody who arrange with them quietly. I said, it doesn't matter how quiet you do it, okay? Once you do it, everybody will know it because when they do it, it's very noisy, okay? When money is involved, it is, the answer is very simple. Legally is any sexual favors performed with an exchange of money, okay? It is illegal. Okay, so that is a simple thing lah.
Yeah.
So I said, don't do it lah, or else you are not a care center, you are a pimp. I told him. Okay. So yeah. But I think the last part is the hardest part for most of us in the running these operations. And the last thing is this. Now, sometimes your staff could be female or male, facing clients who are like this, whether they are male or female. Okay. What happened if this elderly keep, a male or female, keep harassing your staff, especially male, harassing your staff to masturbate, to watch porn, to sleep with him, and pay money, and your staff got scared? No. What is your stand on such a situation? Okay, with the knowledge that, hey, we already don't have enough staff to work already, you know. Okay, and then getting clients are also not easy. Okay, so all these come into play. But what is our stand when someone, a resident, harassing your staff about this? What would you do? Kunyong?
I would discuss the problem with family. Okay. So let them know that things happen in my center. If this one keep on going, I think we have made decisions like sending this elderly out from my home because I will protect my staff I can say my caregiver because this type of harassment cannot be neglected, so must be taken seriously.
Okay. Thank you. So yeah, Christine, I think your answer will be very straightforward lah. What do you think?
But then I tell you, it depends on where you're working. Last time when we were working in Australia, the old man told the nurse is home visiting, so we have to go and bathe them, we have to go and clothe them. So this old man was saying, after finish everything, and now I smell nice, I want to hug you, I want to kiss you. To me, wow, I said, no, I will stand far away. But I'm so surprised, my nurse was saying, oh yes, Mr. Smith, very good, come. We hug each other. And they really hug. And then they kiss, but they kiss on the cheek, and they're all happy, you see? So that is their culture. But I was stand far away. I feel very giddy for somebody to hug me, you see? So if this man is asking, requesting you to provide service like this, then you tell him, yes, I agree with you. You are still very active, very this. How about you take leave and you go home for a few days and you go arrange it yourself and then come back. And then maybe you feel satisfied if you have got the release of his sexual needs. I don't know whether it works or not.
Okay, I mean, that's an option. Something for us to consider. Yeah, I think okay, that's something we can consider. Yeah. Corinne, I know you're not running a center, but I think an outsider view is actually quite good for us. What do you think? How do we deal with a situation when they're harassing our staff?
Are they, you're talking about local Malaysian men, is it?
Yeah, really. Yeah. These are real stories happening in Malaysia. I mean, Christine's culture is, of course, sharing with it, that is acceptable in certain culture in Australia. But yeah, in Malaysia, these things are also happening. It's not like a rare thing. Like Michael, is it people paying for the maid to do it, masturbate the client. Yeah. So all this is a real thing. So if they harass your staff, okay, what do you think we should do as a management?
This kind of sexual harassment goes from office, young life, in office, any working environment, it has always been there. it is not say, oh, now in the fella's old age or so, now suddenly he has come dead. So this is a fabric of the human society.
Okay.
It is not easy to solve for the simple reason it has no solution, even from a working environment. You've been always hearing sexual harassment of the staffs and all that is there. So there again, if it comes to narrow down into the attacks that he is in the home, so the home center can't say I want to push him off because it's a sexual need. Yeah. So there again, very hard for me to even suggest what is the best. Maybe
I understand now. That is your feeling is exactly how we all feel also. Okay. Sometimes it's very hard to deal with it, but okay. Which is true. Thanks, Corey. Which is true. I echo all this expression. Okay, my stand is very simple lah.
One more line that basically find out what is he reading every moment of the day. If he's reading pornographic, then his mind will always be channeled in that matter. So divert his mind thoughts, re-educate his mindset to look at things which is not photograph,
pornographic nature lah.
Yeah. Okay. Because you see, what you put into your mind, you will activate it into your feelings.
The body, the feelings and the body. Okay.
Yes. Give him something different to look at all the time.
Okay. Thanks, Corey. Thanks, Corey. Yeah. Anybody else want to add on? Queenie, Michael, June, Rebecca. Okay. Just give you a few seconds. Anybody want to add on? Okay. Now for us, for us it's very clear if we look at the elderly and because of course the question seems very simple, but there are many dynamics. And number one, whether the person is bedridden, whether the person is actively abusing, what are the major damage, then the thing is, what is our education for the staff, what to do, how do we protect them? For us, if the person becomes a danger, the rule for us is very simple. It becomes a real physical danger and to the staff and embarrassment to the staff and affecting the dignity of the staff, then we'll take action. So that one is a very broad terms, but that's why we have people to discuss and all those things. Of course, we have Age Cope as an association. We can discuss all these things. What do you do, in this event? So when you talk about sex and seniors, it's not just as simple, when you're managing a home as a management team. And I want to wrap it up by saying that sexual needs are real. Yes, there are people who request a lot of things. We have to protect our staff. There are many moral and legal issues that we have to deal with. We have to deal with the family members as well. And of course, the more experienced we are, the easier for us to handle a situation. But there will always be new situation that comes along that we have never seen before. But today, I really appreciate some of all the stories that you share, all the ideas that you share, all your thoughts that you share. This is the first time we actually talk about this in Malaysia for the aspect in a discussion forum outside so-called medical or fraternity. But as an operator, as a layman, I appreciate your feedback. I think all your feedback and all your ideas are very relevant to what we are doing. So I will get with that, I would say thank you very much for your session. But before we go, anybody wants to say a last word? What do you anyone wants to say any last words of wisdom here to end this session? Kun Yong.
Actually, from what I understand and learn something about, actually some of the people sharing here is quite good. We can consider a different way of approaching handle the problem we have in our center. So it's more like other method, other way of handling. To me.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Michael.
I'll pass.
You pass, Queenie?
Sorry, what's the question? Just now I walked away.
Oh, but any last things you want to say before we end?
No lah.
No lah, huh? Okay.
Thanks.
I hope this session has helped you all in some ways, okay? In some ways. All right. So I think I'll not trouble you all. You all spent a lot of time here and sharing your stories. This is only the beginning of the many discussions to come. And I would say thank you very much once again for your time, for your sharing, for your ideas, for the events that you all share. I just say thank you very much. Salam Sejahtera. And thank you. This video will be available online as well. Okay, so that people can also listen to what you all have shared. Thank you for your wonderful sharing and all the interesting stories that you share too. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Have a good day.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
You too. God bless you all.